Hey there everybody, and welcome to another video on the Hard Hat channel. Today I'll be playing Dynamite Dunes, building the best park that I can, and then decorating it. Let's see how I did with it. The first thing I did in this park, and something that I do in every park, is to organize my staff. Typically staff don't have a set area where they're supposed to cover, but organizing them into a smaller area, it just keeps the park clean, and it keeps rides from breaking down as often, and honestly, it's just better in the long run. After that, I wanted to design sort of an entrance plaza at the front of the park. Personally, I've always thought that this scenario looked kind of boring in terms of the layout of the map, so I wanted to try and make something that looks a little bit more appealing. So after I got done building the entrance plaza and a couple of rides at the front of the park, it was time to build my first roller coaster. In this case, I went with the wooden coaster, as you start with a wooden coaster and a mine train coaster at the beginning, and Dynamite Dunes already starts with a mine train coaster called Dynamite Blaster in the back of the park, so I went with the wooden one instead. So after I got done building the wooden roller coaster, I decided it was time to build a log flume right next to it, because there was room behind the wooden coaster and the space was perfect for a ride like this. Now I can't remember if I unlocked this ride or if you start with it, but either way, it worked out nice. So after I got done building those big tracked rides, I wanted to reorganize my pathing a bit to make it a bit less confusing for the guests. I wanted to make sure guests could get to and from the new rides with no issues. Another thing about this scenario that has always bothered me is just how much empty space is taken up by these big mountains. So I decided to build a coaster that twists and turns its way through the mountain that's in the front. I ended up liking the way this turned out, and thankfully the stats weren't too affected by it being underground for a good portion of it, so I'm happy with it. Right after I got done building my mountain coaster, I unlocked some go-karts, which I thought would fit very nicely in this spot in the left corner of the park over here. So once I started making more money and getting more guests coming in, it was time to expand. At this point, I decided it was time to expand the entire area of the park with paths and make sure guests could get all the way around the available area in the park with no issues. After I had finished expanding the park to the outer edges, I had some money to burn, so I built a few more small rides to fill in space and keep guests coming in. So as I reached year 3, the park more or less became self-sustaining, with staff being able to handle any issues with path litter and ride breakdowns. So at this point, I just did some advertising, sped up the game in order to reach the end, and thankfully everything went pretty well. So at this point, we have reached the end of the scenario. I have more than 650 guests in the park. Boom, we have finished. They're now clapping for me. Great, awesome. So now let's go ahead and roll the montage and decorate this park.